Some people think astrology is about looking at planets and making predictions. But in the traditions I have studied, becoming a true astrologer, a Daivagna, is a sacred journey that demands more than just knowledge. It calls for discipline, responsibility, and a deep spiritual connection. Namaskaraha and welcome back to AstroScience. I'm Archna Murthy, and in today's episode, we begin a very special journey, one that opens the doorway to Vedic astrology, where the movement of planets is not just about prediction, but about understanding the blueprint of karma and dharma through your chart. You've probably heard the term astrologer used casually, but in ancient texts, the true guide was actually called a Daivagna, the one who knows the divine. So who exactly is a Daivagna? What does it truly mean to become one? Let's begin. The word Daivagna comes from two Sanskrit roots, Daiva and Gna. A Daivagna literally means one who knows the divine. More than a title, it reflects someone who sees astrology as a path of alignment, not just prediction. It's about being a guide who can interpret the subtle messages of your own horoscope. In ancient Bharat, the Daivagna was a revered figure. They were consulted not just for personal matters like marriages or finance, but also for guiding kings, setting muhurtas, and even advising on temple construction. They were considered a link between the human life and divine intention. What sets a Daivagna apart from a regular astrologer? According to classics like the Parampara Shastra, a Vedic astrologer has three sacred duties. The positions of planets aren't random. They mirror your past karmas and potential paths forward. When I study a chart, I see these patterns as reflections of a person's karmic journey, and my role is to help them align with their innate strengths and potential. In my consultations, whether someone is navigating a career decision, facing a relationship dilemma, or trying to understand their health struggles, I try to show them how their chart can reveal the best way forward, both materially and spiritually. Healing through mantras, rituals, gemstones, and spiritual practices. The goal is always to bring the person back into balance with the forces influencing their life. Becoming an astrologer is not a quick process. It's not about completing a course or buying a software. It's a journey of inner transformation. Speaking from my own journey, it begins with deep study of Jyotish Shastra, one of the 6 Vedangas, classical texts like the Parampara, Shastra, Jataka Parijata, etc. The key areas of mastery include the 9 grahas, the 12 rashis, the 27 nakshatras, the 12 bhavas, dasha systems, yogas and transits. Here's a beautiful shloka that sums it up. Graha Rashi Nakshatranam Swabhavadhyaya Darshanam Tarabalam Cha Vigneyam Jyotisham Iti Kathyate. This means the study of the planets, signs, asterisms, their nature and strength is called Jyotisha. It isn't about study, it's about living the practice. For me, daily meditation and mantra chanting are essential rituals. They refine intuition and help me stay inwardly clear and focused. I believe it's essential for any astrologer, including myself, to operate without greed, bias, or ego. The guidance I offer is always meant to uplift, not to frighten. It has to come from a place of compassion and neutrality. But a Vedic astrologer shouldn't just stop at practice. It also means learning from the original sources. One of the biggest gaps today is the reliance on translations. Our ancient texts were written in Sanskrit. It is not just a language, but a vibrational science. Take the word graha. While often translated as planet, it comes from the verb grihnati, to grasp or hold. That's why even sun and moon are called grahas in Vedic astrology as they impact us. Without Sanskrit, the essence is often lost. Learning this language allows access to wisdom in its purest form without dilution. Even more important is the Guru-Shishya Parampara, learning under a Guru. The Guru does not just teach techniques, they pass on spiritual insight. This transmission cannot happen through just a book or a video alone. All of this, the study, the discipline, the spiritual grounding is what begins to shape a true astrologer. But how do we carry this ancient responsibility into today's world? Some say astrology must evolve with the times. Others say it should stay untouched. But I believe, like any sacred tradition, Vedic astrology can remain timeless and relevant. An astrologer today is no longer confined to temple towns or royal courts. Many of us work across cities, speak on global platforms, and consult people from all walks of life. Yet the essence remains unchanged. Here's what I believe a modern astrologer must carry. People today seek more than answers, they seek clarity. Whether it's about career shifts, emotional blocks, or health patterns, the role is to guide, not impose. Today's astrologer integrates classical remedies with practical advice. Yes, I may prescribe mantras and rituals, but I also encourage meditation, journaling, and lifestyle changes where needed. The remedy must meet the person where they are. One of the most important responsibilities is ethical grounding. Fear-based predictions, flashy promises, or spiritual superiority has no place in true astrology. The role isn't to control someone's choices, but to bring them clarity and confidence. You might wonder, can a sacred science really coexist with apps and Zoom calls? It can and it must. In today's world, the modern astrologer uses software for accurate chart calculations, like I use Parampara, consult through video calls across continents, share insights through YouTube, podcasts, or writing. Many people ask me, where do I start if I want to become an astrologer? And here's what I tell them. Start with the fundamentals. Don't jump into predictions. The internet is full of information, but choose teachers who are grounded in tradition. Learn from those who have walked the path. Read translations if you must, but gradually move towards the originals. Learning Sanskrit may take time, but it will protect you from misinterpretation. For me, learning to read verses in their original form has transformed my understanding. Start reading charts slowly. Even now, every chart I study teaches me something new. For those who want a more structured path, consider enrolling in authentic astrology courses or universities that offer Vedic astrology as part of their curriculum. What truly makes a good astrologer? I don't believe it's just knowledge, it's who you are when you practice. Here's what I try to cultivate and recommend to others. Clarity in thought, compassion in speech, commitment to truth, discipline in practice, humility in learning. Whether you are a beginner or a professional, these are the pillars that uphold the integrity of Vedic astrology. I often remind myself, it's not just about how many charts you read, but the depth of insight you provide and guide. If you're someone who feels called to this path, not just to predict, but to serve and grow, then nurture that calling. Start small, stay sincere, because this isn't just a skill, it's a sadhana. I hope it brought clarity, inspiration, or even just a moment of reflection. If it did, do like, share, or comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to AstroScience for more content rooted in tradition, relevant even today. Dhanyavadaha.